cigarette. You eat meat. So don't even come at me with that I'm superior over you, because your actions is what decide to me how wise you are. And you're not going to come up to me with a cigarette in your hand and think that I'm going to be looking at you as you could be something that how dare I think I'm as wise as you. I know you're an idiot. I want to be more wise than you as soon as I see you with that cigarette. That's the truth about it. My point is this. We live on a planet that can sustain everyone and produce everything, large scales of everybody. No, it doesn't have to be no party. Because we are also stupid and so neglected, the earth is killing off the people that want to follow this devil as well as the devil. Now, if you look around these disaster zones, look at the water. The water is all brown, like the skin of the people that's victimized. If it's not brown, it's black. The tornadoes coming at your ass with brown dirt in it, brown again, tearing your ass up. All right? So you're going to have to see things for what it is. The trees, the debris of the trees is in these cyclones, coming in through people's windows, putting big ass holes in their walls, killing their children. They're not telling you about all the people that's dying because they don't want you to know that your Jesus is not protecting you from Asar, God. All right? Asar God is your God. All you guys that get killed are going to be recreated and put under the circumstances that is suiting for your heart makeup. That's what's going on. This is called jumping. This is a dimensional jump is what's going on. See, they won't teach you about all this stuff. But what is going to happen is your circumstances is going to alter chemicals in your body. And these chemicals in your body is going to design what type of consciousness you are under, according to what your heart makeup make you desire, and the impressions that's found there when the sunlight goes inside of you this summer and last summer. It's been going on forever. That's why some people is coming up with medical complications that's making them die. They said 800 people died like last week. Just like I was telling y'all asses, y'all gonna be dying fast just like that. Because you all were planning on killing our asses off the planet, and the sunlight knows that. So the sunlight is going to give you a dose of your own medicine. It's real simple. It's people that's going on right now without saying nothing, but they know that this is Judgment Day. And it's because of the religious manipulation that has got people hating each other so much, and the state of deprivation so much that even when God sent her own son, the God that sends her own son to the planet, I just can't believe it. So I'm not going to have a problem wiping y'all asses out. And I don't even have to do shit. My sister, and I want you to know something too. I can feel energy impulses, and it's getting ready to get real bad. I already know that because I can see things. And I know through my dreams what's going on. And this mistreatment of the black man on this planet and the murder of us so you can have our women and the brainwashing of her and creating more Mexicans that you all killed in Europe in World War II. See, all this stuff did not go unnoticed. This is why it's going down. And I was sent here to point that out to you guys so you have knowledge that this is judgment. It's not just weather formations. I've been telling you that. This is the universe sayonara y'all asses off this planet for the horrible shit you've done. And the people up here in Seattle and Oregon, they change so fast that the sun is saying, oh, okay, I know why that happened too. Because the spiritual energy that's inside of me was easily transferred to them. Of course, y'all not going to believe that because you're all Jesus lovers. Jesus ain't never did shit to set up a circumstances where your two areas on the planet really show off like, damn, they sure is getting a lot of sunshine there. It's because everybody's attitude changed. And people understood. But see, back east, it's hard. It's hard, I'm telling you, because they set it up to be the arena of iniquities. And from New York all the way to Nebraska, they be getting it done. And then in Nebraska, they got big-ass cornfields where they have warehouses out there, and they do all kind of shit. Man, I'm going to shut up and keep going.
We lost Dr. Williams. Let's get him back here. Okay, listen to the African History Network show. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. We're going to take a quick break while we bring... or we get Dr. Williams back on the line. Okay, don't go anywhere. Also visit our Facebook fan page, African History Network. It's updated. It has information about tonight's show, so you can just share that, repost it. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, well, you come on back, then.
The African History Network, where we educate, empower, and inspire people of African descent.
Well, I just wanted to drop that so everybody could know. You know what I'm saying? The universe has had it. You're not going to keep walking around here with this fake religion, thinking that, you know, everything is a joke. And let's kill all it, everything, including ourselves, you know? I mean, that's stupidity. It's just showing nothing but royal ass stupidity. That's all. Royal stupidity.
Transition to the Prophet Muhammad, so people can really understand the correlation between the two of this. And as you talk about in the historical origin of Islam, I forgot how to pronounce his name. I think it's
Ibn al-Arabi.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Ibn al-Arabi.
Okay, Ibn al-Arabi.
Ibn al-Arabi.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about that, because I found the two really fascinating, and how the mythology comes about surrounding these two characters. Okay, so why don't we start with Serapis Christos, if you don't mind?
Well, first you have to understand history, human history. That's what I was telling you before when we opened up the program about the 5 ingredients that make up human history: time, people, places, events, and literature. So what I'm saying is that when you got started off when Alexander the Greek came into Egypt in 332 BCE, wanted to be made part of the ancient Egyptian divine sacred society, or the society of ancient Egyptians, and he was rejected. And because our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, did not allow or accept foreigners into their community or in their sacred society. So,
and then the minute they did, look what happened to us. Our asses became enslaved. That's why they should have stuck to the program, but they felt sorry for you white people and tried to educate you. And look what happened to us.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Right.
Yes.
So when Alexander died after 9 years, he died in 323. Now BC dates you count down. He came in 332. He died 9 years later. 323. You count BC dates down. The dates that we're living in, the times that we're living in now, you count the dates up. So anyway, after
and see, all that stuff was just designed to get our asses confused. All of our asses got confused because of that interfering with time to make themselves fit in. So they fucked everything up just to make themselves get in wherever they could fit in, and where they couldn't fit in at, they just cut things out and threw it away and added that bullshit in. This is why we live on a world full of decadence, because of you Europeans.
He died in 323, and one of his army generals took over the control of Egypt. That was totally one Lagi called Sotar. The word S-O-T-E-R means savior, okay? And he wanted to get himself admitted into the ancient Egyptian sacred society. The Greeks knew, and the Romans knew also, that in order to control and rule Egypt, they had to be accepted into the sacred society of ancient Egypt. And they were rejected. So therefore, Ptolemy I had a bright idea. He went and found a temple in Memphis, Egypt, that took two of their deities, Osiris and Apis, and put those two deities together and came out with the name Osiris.
Now listen what he's saying. What he's saying is that there was European invasion all over Egypt. So he went and found a European temple that had changed the god Osiris name to the god Osiris. They had already invaded this soil of Egypt. They were living in Egypt, learning the customs of us black people, practicing our ways and altering them as they go so they could make it to fit their assili. That's where the god Osiris came from white people coming into Egypt and stealing our religion from us and creating mimicking religion around our religion, which was not religion. It was our philosophical way of life, meaning that we didn't just learn about it in church. We lived it every day. We taught it in our schools. We taught it at our worship centers. We had it on every street corner, informations and sigils of obedience and divine characteristics formatted all around our existences to keep us all in a divine way. The Europeans came and saw all this method of keeping everything divine, and what do? They start giving you Southern suggestions of sucking dick, drinking alcohol, let's go murder. You know, all this stuff. It's all everywhere you look. Behind billboards, all the billboards, everything. It's nothing but the spread of decadence. And it all came from them coming into our cities, learning our customs, and tarnishing them. And then using our wisdom back on us to eradicate us, kill us, murder us, and still doing that to this day so your world of decadence and decay can stay alive.
And they gave that name, Osarepas, to Ptolemy I Lagi called Sotar, thereby giving Ptolemy I Lagi called Sotar, this Greek ruler, successor of Alexander the Greek, thereby giving the attributes to him of Osiris.
And when he say Osiris, he means Asar. You guys came into Egypt and destroyed my whole existence and plagiarized it under your god Osiris. And then hid Osiris from the rest of the world too. Because talking about Osiris will get you away from Jesus. So your Osiris, from Osiris, it turned into Jesus. This is what you guys did.
You see? Yes. So that image was used, his image was used to try to be introduced into the rest of the sacred society throughout Egypt, and that image was rejected. So therefore, he closed down all the temples throughout Egypt, except for the one in Memphis, Egypt, where that temple made his image into a deity.
Now let me tell you what this means. It means that their influence over Egypt, they had the nerves to say, okay, well, since they ain't going to accept me as the overall ruling God, we're going to use our violence and our military and our force to shut all their temples down. So you went around Egypt and closed down all the black temples. And the only temple that you left open was the temple where you put up your pictures of your white gods at. You're some fucked up people. Trust me on that.
Okay? So now, what I'm trying to say is this. The image that we know today as Jesus the Christ is nothing but the image of Ptolemy I Lagi, called Sotar, the successor of Alexander the Greek. Okay? So I start from that point.
He's saying Ptolemy I. That's what from the Ptolemy is where they started all this. When Alexander died, all of his generals and everything that was left in Egypt is the one who created, with the help of the Vatican, they are the ones who created this white Jesus. It came from their Serapis god, which was a combination of the god Asar and the god Apis, I think it was. No, Serapis. Let me stop and let him finish. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to add in to the people who's new on this what exactly he is explaining happened. There was Egypt with us black people. We let you white people in and try to learn, teach you guys something. You guys grew in numbers because black people started breeding with y'all asses. Everything started growing and changing. Eventually you guys took over and just murdered us all off the throne and everything and set up your house as white rulers of Egypt. Alexander and all of his Ptolemies, which were all his criminal generals and everything, they all created the white Jesus later down the line and took all this stuff and told y'all, we don't know who built it. You know who built it? You was in here learning with our asses and you killed us all.
And let me fast forward.
Okay.
So from that image was made in 320 BC, 3 years after the death of Alexander. That image, Ptolemy I Lagi, was given the name Serapis by way of what I just mentioned, by way of the Memphis temple in Memphis, Egypt, taking two of their deities and making a composite of the two and giving the name Serapis or Serapis to this Ptolemy I Lagi called Sotar. It's technical, but you have to read my book. But I explain to people on the back cover, read this book more than once because the terminology in the book is something that you're not going to hear every day. So you have to really study the book. Read it one time, then go back and start studying it. You see?
Right. And then let me say this, brother. Because I